Good morning, good morning. Happy Thursday, everyone. Uh, let's see. We are today working on experiments with back-end technology. So if we take a look at our whiteboard here, we are actually that wasn't it. It was in this stuff in the README. So our current we have a few different experiments to run, and a few different questions to answer. We can't answer these really until we know what our back-end technology is going to be, and then we can't even truly understand what our front-end technology is going to be until we choose our back-end technology, if that makes sense. A lot of that is because we would like to use WebSockets, but we need to know whether or not we can use Red WebSockets in a Rust-based web server. Now, can Rust do WebSockets? Absolutely yes. There's at least one crate that can do WebSockets, and Rust can definitely do web servers. But can they do them all together in one? I don't know. And that's today we're gonna explore Actix Web. Reason why I'm starting there, arbitrary decision. I've used it before a little bit. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to be familiar with it because I think it's like had many major releases since then. But I figured it's a good place to start and we can go from there. So starting with this, let's go grab Actix. Is it Actix Web? Yeah, this one looks about right. Version 3. So Actix-Web. Okay, so we're gonna pull that in, then looks like we'll use these type of, okay, so this to then just do, say like what the get is gonna be, and then we'll have our async function. Well, that seems like it's gonna be pretty simple. Okay, let's give this a shot. So we're right in here. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a new branch for this, and we'll do this type of experiment in this project here. So branch off, and this will be Actix Web. Also make sure we're up to date with Rust. Oh, there is. Oh no, it's a new version of Nightly, isn't it? Which is not exactly new for us. We're not going to be using Nightly. Yeah. Okay. So the main version of Rust was unchanged. So we're still going to be using. Let's see. Stop show. We are still using Rust version 1.52.1. So let's see, how do I want to do this? I'm thinking we're because this is also like the front end. Probably don't need to do anything special like in. I probably don't actually want to do it in here. I think we want to do is we want to create a new repo that's gonna be the Deck of Card Simulator backend. Everything else can probably be the same. We'll just go ahead and give this P. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and X out of here. It is good to know, sort of like know for the questions, but we're not gonna need that open. This is what we're gonna be mostly interested in. So we are going to create a branch up here for Actix Web. Init a new package, and inside of here, it is just this Actix-web. And 332 is the most recent. Ooh, new version of REST Analyzer. Always nice to have those. So let's go ahead and compile Actix Web and get that hello world going. Okay, so it looks like get is a derive macro. And this function is going to be used in it. Okay, so that seems, I mean, it seems easy enough. I wonder if we're going to get the same compile times. I wonder if it's still like very, very long. Oh, well, actually, that wasn't very long at all. So maybe it's just the better computer, or maybe it actually is a little bit faster these days. Okay, so let's just go ahead and we're going to do something similar to this. So I want to do a get to probably just slash index.html. Can I also just do like a get to slash? That's an interesting idea, but okay, we're gonna do a get like that. That's a function. Put this over to the side. All right, so I wonder if REST Analyzer will grab this. So if I do get, no, it won't. Okay, so I need to pull that up here. So we just go to index.html. And then we're going to have this async function index. Okay, so we're going to give a web path, which you don't know anything about. Okay, so web path, and inside of that, it looks like it takes a tuple, ID and name. Oh, a tuple of these. So I am not gonna need to grab anything out of this then. It's probably gonna be that. So then how does that work? Oh, I'm giving it a type. So, okay. So this web path. So I probably don't need to give it a type if it's just empty like this. Then I'm gonna impl a responder, which is from this. Which can apparently just be a string. So we can just do the same thing. We'll just do a format. You are unhappy because you do need a type, don't you? Expected colon. Okay, so you do need that. This is gonna be that web path, and then the type information is just an empty tuple. Okay. Oh, so you're an empty tuple here. Fine. Wait, can you fix this for me? Yeah, nice. Okay, and then to start our server up. Okay, so we have to tell it that it's a Actix Web main function. I wonder if that may. Whoa. We can take a look at like Rust expand to see what they're doing here. So Actix Web main. Then there's a main function. We're going to return a standard IO result. I guess we could. So standard IO result. Interesting. I probably would return like an error result when I do it for real. Okay, so we're going to get a HTTP server from Actix Web. It takes a callback. So we're also going to use app from Actix Web. So app new. Okay, service. And then, oh, we pass in this function, index. Then we're going to bind it. Okay, so to the IP address that we're going to bind it to. So we'd probably take in something like a environment variable to grab this. I wonder, so they have us doing 127.0.0.1. Normally for web servers, I would go for like 0. But sure, let's just do this. Oh, and you're gonna be questioned. You return an error. Okay, so we run, and we have to await. And lots of errors. Okay, what's wrong? Really, main function not found. Okay, now, but if I run you, main function not found. Okay, so. Oh, because you're async. We have to turn this into an async. Okay, that's much better. Okay, so it's running. That was actually a pretty fast compile. The last time we ran this, it was like in pre-alpha or something like that, or maybe pre-beta or something like that with Actix Web, and it was really slow. Okay, so we're gonna come here to localhost 8080. I mean, so no errors, but also we're not getting a hello world either. I mean, so it does seem to be working kind of. Oh, you know what? I need to go to /index.html. There you go. So here's our hello world. And it's trying to get a favicon, but that's not a problem. Okay, so if I just make this slash, does that work on slash then? Oh, if you make a change in like a program like this, I mean, it would be helpful to first save and then second rebuild. There it goes. Okay, so we can definitely do slash like this. Okay, so this is a super simple web server, but for our project, it doesn't need to be anything more than a super simple web server. Because if we remember our design, we're gonna need to take in a like a registration. So we'll have like a form to post. Like a form to post, and then like a button to like send to go grab like a new code, and then a form to like put that code in to like get a WebSocket out. Faraz Beg, hey, will I be posting this on YouTube? I will be, yes, absolutely. And I believe I have a command for YouTube here. So that is the location for where YouTube is going to be. Oh, not to add complexity yet, but you highly recommend looking into Cargo Watch for hot reloading. Ooh, I have not tried that. Yeah, let's take a look at Cargo Watch. Especially since those that compile time was not that bad. So we're just going to install it that way. There we go. Okay, then we can do Cargo Watch. The X, okay, is executable. So cargo commands to execute on changes. And it's in our command. Would be like just cargo run. Okay, so we can do a cargo watch. Cargo watch dash X cargo run. I guess that will be it. Found argument run. Okay, so quote that. No such subcommand cargo. Okay. Oh, is it just gonna be run? Like, do you assume cargo? Okay, so running cargo run. So here is our server. We're gonna come up here. We're gonna change this to add like a whole bunch of more exclamation marks. Hit save. Hit save. It recompiled. And there we go with that. Okay, that's awesome. So then like, if I really wanted to, I could like set up a live reload too. And then that would be like the best of both worlds. But just with this for right now, I think we'll be happy. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. Cargo watches is nice. Okay. So if I wanted to take in like a post, let's try that. Let's just try like actually doing this without necessarily like looking it up. See how intuitive it is. So I want to do /. Let's do something like games. Like we're gonna create a new game. And do async function. Create game. Ooh, okay, that's nice. Web path. Now we're not gonna take anything in like that. It's like no path. But I don't know how to get in the body. Is there body? Okay, so what do you take in? Oh, you don't know what you take in. Oh, interesting. So it's this underscore. Okay, web path. So this is probably still the web path thing. So we're not going to take anything in there. What did you do? There it goes. Gonna impl responder. But how would I grab the information out? I'm guessing it has to be somewhere in here to tell it what we're gonna get in. Okay, so I can't just do a post like that, unfortunately, without looking at the documentation, but let's go figure it out. Let's take a look at their to-do. Okay, so they have this resource to do. Oh, and that's to send it to API create. Is that a redirect? So mod. Okay, so API create. So in mod API. Then there's gonna be create. Here's create. Okay, so then it takes the params, which is web form, create form, a pool, and a session. Okay. then this is slash to do. Oh, so they're not using the async function thing. So they're not doing this at all. So they're basically just doing this, where we have a service here. We do another service, and we can just put in like slash games. Then we can give it a then give it the type, so route. Host to, okay, and then it's gonna be this like this create. So to set handler function used, request extractors for parameters. Okay, so this function will be maybe like handle, like create game. Then up here, function game. Oh, it's not, it's service. Oh, I missed that. There's a web resource here. Okay, hold on. So it's web resource. And then we can give it slash like games. Oh, and that has that directly on it. So we're gonna go to the end here. Put you there. Now these are service. But you, this service, interesting. Okay, so if I don't have this one, you don't like that. Oh, and this isn't in, oh no, okay, let move. Okay, so here's our callback. So app new, we have some data, we're wrapping some stuff, so the middlewares, I guess. Okay, then service, and then return. Also, okay, interesting. I don't know where it okay, so this is like very different than the other documentation it has. Okay, so this is this style. Okay, interesting. Not all of these are under like gets. Like for example, this one doesn't have that derive. Okay, so here's our Actix Web main. Okay, so grabbing environment variable stuff. Oh, log. Okay, having it in it log environment logger. That's good. Okay, so HTTP server new. Okay, so this one is actually closer to what we're doing. We have our app new. Okay, so we can have cookie sessions, which I don't think I'm going to care about. We have a middleware. Okay, for a logger. That must come from Actix Web, yeah. Okay, the favcon. Then simple register simple route, handle all methods on it. Okay, so a service is going to handle all like the get and post and everything else. Nice. Good morning, Chantilly. Oh, and looks like we can do multiple here. So that could be interesting too. Now let's start with, these are gets. Oh, so it's going to be a callback. Okay, and a default. Okay, so this post is what we're looking at the most here. Okay, so this is going to be web. Okay, so we're going to do a service. So app new service. Let's just start over with this. So we're going to have our bind and run and await. Okay, so that's all good. Okay, so starting over with this. Here's our service. Also, why are you, oh, you're upset because we're not returning this result. Which, this is an IO result. Oh no, that's the same. IO result, standard IO result. I mean, because I could also just do this. Like that. Or not. Back to the main function not found in here. It's right there. Come on, Rust Analyzer. Okay. I wonder if it's because like this isn't set up right. So we're gonna do a web resource /games. Then a 2. And so this is a callback handler. And so we're gonna get a request, which is an HTTP request. Okay, so we can request, okay, so we can match the dereferenced request dot method. I mean, if you were working, we could. Oh, you can't find anything like that. It is so upset with me. Then we want to do this method, which is no doubt off of. Okay, it's off of Actix Web. Okay. Look how long it's been since we had to restart the REST Analyzer server. Maybe this will help? Or not. Okay, so then method post. It looks like they're doing this like HTTP response okay. Not sure how to like put a function in there. So something that returns, well, something. Not sure. Also, you're so upset. Okay, let's actually just start you all over. Okay. Also, what are you upset about? Unresolved import, no method in the root. Okay. It's the okay. All right, let's do this again. Environment variables we're not going to care about. Now this env logger, where is this from? Is that the name of a crate? It might. Or it might be like their own thing. This is literally the only location for this. So this must be a crate. So if we go to crates, okay, implements a logger that can be configured via environment variables. Okay, so we can set that up. Maybe we'll set that up later. We're trying to do like the bare minimum here to get a post. We already got a get. Okay, so we're gonna do our HTTP server, new. Then a callback function. And at the very end of this, we then take you, we bind you to 127.0.0.1 port 8080. We can run you and we can await. And if we do that, we don't need to have this okay. Okay, so does this mean our return? Notice there's no semicolon here, so that means this factory from here has to return something. Okay. I'm guessing it's this then. It's like the result of all the services and everything else. Okay, so here's where we're gonna do our app new. So we're gonna do app new. Then we could do service. Okay, so there's service welcome. Okay, so this is a get welcome session. Okay, so it takes in a session and an HTTP request. It result with an HTTP response. Okay, so it's doing like a simple counter. Okay, so that's very similar to this then, except this one is like session request. So let's update you. So session is gonna be a type session. From Actix session. That's new. Okay, so do we also need to pull an Actix session? Maybe. Not much documentation in here, but we can pull this in. Okay, so import use. So okay, so there's the session. Then we have this request. Which is going to be a HTTP request. And we're going to return a result. Now, what kind of result are you doing? Oh, an Actix web result. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it's going to be a result. Actix web result with an HTTP responder. Response. So we can apparently debug the request. And then we're going to turn, okay, HTTP response build. Oh, okay. And this is how we send out what we want to send. Okay, so we want to build. Okay, status code. So status code. All right, nice. So we can get all these are just a enum that we can use. I love that I can do I'm on Teapot. That they included that. 418. Okay, so we run, okay. Then, okay, so content type. Okay, then we can say what the content type is. Nice. And content type. This is gonna be, what is it? Application JSON? Application data JSON? It's been forever since I did that. Content type better. Let's see. I guess in this case, like, just text is fine. So you can keep you. But eventually, we'd obviously want to return a JSON. Okay, so then they're gonna have our body, which is just the string. So this would just be hello from new Actix web. Okay, so you're happy so far. Then we're gonna come in here, and this is where we do a service. No, not in there, in here. So we're gonna do a service, and then our factory is gonna be index. Oh. So this is like get for / welcome. Oh, so if I did a post for this too, then that would send that in there. Okay, okay. I think I get that. So if nothing else happens, just warnings, no errors. Are you still running? Probably. Yes, okay, nice. This works. I don't know why it's suddenly a light background. I guess setting the content type. If I don't send the content type up, what happens? Oh yeah, okay. It doesn't know what it is. It thinks that it's HTML. But it's nicer to look at. Okay. Also, here's a request that we got. So if I wanted to turn this into like a post, so like if we had games, right? So if we had like let's do a get again. So get for dash games. So let's just say I just copy you to begin with. And that's gonna be, so we're gonna call this games here. And this is, we're gonna, I don't know about that, but so games. And we do another service with games. So this should still be that Actix web. And then if I go to /games, we get games like that. Okay. So far I got you. But I'm curious, if I do a post to games, does this function still run? And we still get this. So in, I don't want to open up Postman necessarily. And I recently learned that there is that Thunder client that we can get here. Let's go ahead and grab that. Which gives us the ability to do a Postman style request right here in VS Code. So we're gonna do a post. Well, let's start with get. It's gonna be get to localhost 8080. Here we get the hello from Actix Web. All right. And if I do localhost, now if we switch to /games, there's that games. And if I switch to post, okay, 404 not found. Not surprising, and we don't get this debug. So when this said handle all methods, so register simple route, handle all methods. Is it like if I do a post for this too? Would that work? So we have a get there. Okay, so get post. So if I switch you to post like this, and then posting games. Right, so this is gonna be games. This is gonna be create game. Notice it's not showing that it's not being used, because I think that this derive is taking this function and like putting to a struct or something else behind the scenes. We could probably cargo expand it just to sort of take a look to see what's going on behind the scenes. But let's see if that actually works. So I want to do a post to here. Oh, still 404 not found. Okay. And I get still working. So I was kind of hoping that this would just work, because it was this that we were grabbing. If I do create game here, so service, create game. Okay, so that still works. And that works now. Okay, so we have to pull them in as services. I don't know if that's right or not, but seems like it from the simple documentation, it seems to work just fine. Okay, so now here's like the data that we get from that, with just a bunch of headers. That's not a problem. But if we now send in a body of JSON, let's just say, message, hello from client. So I don't see this in here. Okay, so the content type is application JSON. So it knows it's coming as application JSON. So that's the HTTP request. We're not getting the one under web. We're doing this HTTP request. I don't see anything about like the body data. This is like the closest. Gets an application data object stored, but during application configuration, which is not the same. Query string. Now, is there a difference between that and this? Not that I see it. It looks like the exact same methods. I search for body. Is this a response? It's creating a body. I don't know if that's actually gonna... can like come up. Okay, so we have body stream, size stream, but how would I use you? Now down here, this is like just ignoring the method, which is unfortunate. Now it looks like we also just build things in here. So web service, resource test, and then match request.method. Yeah, but that's not grabbing anything. Okay, let's see if we have more examples. Okay, posting JSON body. That's exactly what we want. Okay, so here's the data that's going to be coming in. So it looks like we have to put in serialize and deserialize, maybe also validate. Okay, so, oh, but this is the response. I want the request. So here's our server, service, web resource, something, route, web post to create something. Create something. We have some data, web JSON, some data.
They'll be okay. Hi. Here. Come here. Sylvie.
I know we're not paying attention to you. He was, I just heard him like crying out behind the green screen. He was carrying his little dragon, but he dropped it as soon as he saw me and just came over here. So I don't think he wants to play necessarily. I think he just wants attention, and we are willing to give him that. Okay, so oh, are you done? Okay. Well, I guess attention has been given. So we're getting, oh, session. We didn't even look at session. Oh, wait, no. I didn't even notice. I didn't even remember that we had this. Okay, let's debug session. Let's actually just do both. Your session requests get logged out. Oh, session doesn't implement that. Okay, so we need, what are you? No, no, no. I wanted you. Oh, is this for like backend sessions? Okay, so I don't think we're gonna get anything from this. Oh, okay. Welcome back, but now you have your dragon. Here, I'll throw it for you. Sylvie. Sylvie. Okay, so we can't debug session. What about session dot? You don't know anything about it. Oh, okay, so session is a tuple struct. We can get a session. Okay, so yeah, I don't think this is not going to be necessarily helpful. Do it again, Zilby. Okay, so that we could only do this with the request then. And the request is just these headers, right? Like we're not getting anything else from this. But there's this payload. Okay, so HTTP request is a tuple struct with an RC with an HTTP request inner. Okay, so I need to get into this. Okay, so we import HTTP request. Payload, oh, but it's not payload is public. Okay, so we're gonna grab this out. So it's the first thing. It's like what, dot 0, I think. So private field. Okay, so I need to get into this somehow. So maybe there's a getter for us. Okay, so returns reference to the header request, mutable reference, the request URI, the method, the request version, the headers, the path, the query string, path parameters. The URL for that. App data. No, I don't think that's right. Take payload. Okay, so I might be able to take the payload. And I probably need to tell it what this is, don't I? Doesn't implement standard format debug. Oh, and you don't know what that is. Probably because it's unknown. So payload string maybe? Expected enum. Oh, okay. So that's not exactly what it's doing. So it literally is just returning this payload. Then what can I do with this? It's like, okay, so we have the payload. Payload dot. let's go. And you don't implement debug. So go to payload. So is it just the enum? So, okay, so payload is, and then this is where it's, oh, the payload stream. So it's nothing in here. So it's not necessarily helpful. Okay, so payload is wrong. Encoding's probably wrong. Oh, we can take a look at the query string. All right, let's do that. Hey, you're back to working again. Nice. Okay, so the payload is nothing. Now, if I do a query string inside of here, so if we just add in testing. Okay, so we get the query string information that way. So that's nice to get that. Let's see, that was query string. There's this resource map, and the take payload isn't helpful unless there's a way for us to tell it what the payload should be at some point in time up here. Like, so if I do a take payload, and like I'm supposed to be like saying that you're going to be like a string. This doesn't tell me what you need to be. Oh, almost needed to sneeze. Okay, so if we're sending this, I need to tell Actix Web that for the resource it needs to be like a see, this is Actix session, Actix Web. Okay, so where's create with post method? I mean, that's not helpful. How do I get the data? No, okay. Or resource? No, I don't think that's right. Okay, so we had this take. Oh, is that not listed here? That's not listed here. Oh, Devlec. Let's take a look at this. Load the request body by default. So, HP request. So body. Wait, is this a private function? So an HP request. I think that's a private function. Oh, no method named in an HP request. Method not found in HP request. HP request. Oh, okay. I guess it's because it's not public. How is this using? Oh, look at this version here. This is 030. And we're on 3. So if we look for body. Okay, so here's a pub function body. Loads the HP request as body. Client response. How do I get the client response? So can I get client off of here? No. That wouldn't be session. Yeah, so where am I going to get this client response? So it's under AccessWeb client. Client. Wait, so we create a client here for request builder and send request. Response equals client.get. Oh, is this for sending out? This is for sending out messages. Oh, so that's not what I want at all. Yeah, that's so weird. Oh, there's a WebSocket client. Ooh. Is there a WebSocket server also? Initialize a WebSocket connect to WebSocket server. I think this is for being a client though, not like a server for WebSockets. So not exactly right. Super interesting and fascinating. There's let's see. Here we're back to just like the main. These are basic to do. Okay, so here's our basic to do. What they're doing here for to do, it's a route web post. And then they use this create. Here's create. So we have this params, pull, and session, which is this web data. Oh, but the params is what we care about. So when I do posts like this, do I actually want to change this up? Okay, so interesting. This works. Like this completely works because this macro is taking this. So maybe we need something else in here. Like if we do this web form with like whatever this is here. So if I do like a struct, I don't know, we'll call this data. Let's call this like game data. And we're gonna have a message, which is a string. And that's it. Here, we'll make that public. Then in we're gonna do this params. And you're gonna be a web form, the form game data. Then we're going to debug params. Come on, params. Which you should yell at me. Game data, okay. Derive, debug. Post, okay, so trait bound. Okay, so we need to serialize, deserialize. So the trait bound for game data, deserialize. So, deserialize, where does that come from? That is in here. Oh, it's Serde. So we need Serde. So this create form. Derive, deserialize is just Serde. Okay, so we need Serde. And are you re-exported? No. Okay, so we need to pull in Serde. Then inside of here, we can then use that. So use Serde, deserialize, and then in here, deserialize. Okay, that's not yelling at us anymore. So if we come back into here and we hit send, content type error. Okay. Okay, so we have message hello from client. So in here it is message. So I'm at least sending that now. I'm still trying to like respond that. If I don't, so it's probably having trouble getting this out. Oh, it's form. That's our problem. Is there like another one that's like body? No. Okay. So where was form from? Form was this. So if I do form with game data, and we come back to new request and we're doing form data here. So this would be message, hello, bad request. Sending this in. So, okay, we're getting the 400 bad requests. Oh, you found one way? They can do a params into inner description pull. From request. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay, so from request, convert request to a self. Oh, they have an example below. I didn't go far enough down. Oh, here it is. Okay, so here's our struct thing. We have a deserialize, we have a debug on it. So that's exactly the same thing. Oh, impl from request for thing. Oh, really? And then we can extract thing from request. So web resource route web post to index, which would be this thing, which is then a supplied thing. Which is an option. There's like, apparently there's many ways to create these functions, which I am. So I'm not like a huge fan of like having so many different ways of creating these functions and these routes. I would have like, because like that the documentation therefore is inconsistent. Okay, so if we do this, impl from request for this thing. So impl from request for game data. Type future is going to be this ready result cell. Wow. Okay, that's cool. So actually, like if I look at this, we just do you. It's going to be our game data. Air from Actix Web. Okay. So there's that. Okay, then from request, payload is dev payload. Dev is also from Actix Web. I don't really care about that. Wait, what was I returning? This is okay. So then we're just gonna return okay game data message payload. This is creating a new one, but it's like not grabbing anything from the client. Why you do this? Another example below. Wait, is that... This feels very similar. Supplied thing. Interesting. Okay. Super. Okay, interesting. This isn't using async. So if I just like restart this. Oh, okay. So if we do payload, so your self, wait a second. Oh, look at this. This is okay. Lowercase okay. They're doing futures util stuff. Oh, that's weird. So I need to pull in futures util. So like this is just gonna be lowercase okay, but that means I need to pull in now futures util. It's probably dash. Okay. Okay, so then we do that. Expected struct ready with a result, so then and okay. Okay, so found ready result game data. So that was incorrect. Okay, so come on. Ready? Result. Game data unknown. Okay, so like how is that not what I'm doing? Except potentially that. JSON T impulse from request 2. But I guess like why is this upset here? What am I not doing right here? We have from request, HTTP request, payload. Self future. Then we have this okay, and then the thing. Oh, an into. No, that's a string, and that's what it is. Okay. Else error. But I shouldn't need to. I don't have to do the else if I don't want to. I should just be able to return that this always returns like this. So why are you upset? So it expected a struct ready, result, game data, error. And it found ready, result, game data, just something. Like we didn't have an error. So why? Okay, well this is the it returns like a feature. So if we look at this, what it found was this features util feature ready. I guess like are they not compatible? Like I'm grabbing this okay from this same location that this example does. So like it's very suspicious if it doesn't return the right thing. Maybe it's like futures. Future okay. Ready? Okay, so expected a result game data this. So now would this be an okay? Okay, finally. So that okay from there's probably like a version problem in the future okay. All right, well, whatever. So we now have our payload. What I really want to do here is just state what this payload is. But so maybe like we have this params form game data. Let's run this, see what we got. Error. Okay, 400 bad request still. Right, so then here we do this. This is gonna be a supplied thing with a result thing. So now you're that. Which you are the game data. You're a supplied thing. Yes, I know. There we go. Okay, so now we can get it. So here we got our posting games with the message. Wow. So then, okay, back to here. We should be able to see what this payload is. So if I do a debug of the payload. Oh, it doesn't implement debug. Okay, so payload dot. Okay, you're this payload stream. So payload, it'd be nice if you told me what I could do. So payload stream. Oh, so we don't know which one you are. So we have to match on payload. So you're gonna be one of these things. So if you're none, we're gonna say payload, so debug, none. If you're H1, I don't know what that is, so you're a H1. So debug H1. Otherwise, you're a stream, which is kind of what I'm expecting it to be. So debug stream. Let's see which one you are. So many errors, so unhappy with this. Oh, I don't want to return. Like, I'm not trying to return. That make you less unhappy? Oh, it does. Okay, so we want to go to and do that and that. Okay. How about you? Doesn't implement debug. Okay, so H2, and you probably don't implement debug either. Okay. It's an H1. Okay, so it's an H1. We have a payload with a ref cell. Okay, so we can borrow that. You're not telling us what you are, but oh, with the length of 0. So H1 dot. We should be able to, if you're a payload is an inner, I don't know how to get you out. So let's see. I need a payload. Yes, like this isn't actually reading from the payload, which I think is like really not good for their documentation. Because like, how do I use it? I would like to use it, please, not just completely ignore what's passed into me. Payload. Let's take a look at payload. Oh, Rocket was released yesterday. I've been watching their progress, and I kept on seeing like, hey, we're getting close. It's getting close. Rocket now works with standard, right? We might have to take a look at that. Okay, so payload. Oh, so there's like a whole bunch of like this stuff that we need to do. It's like web is a payload, bytes mute. New equals the bytes. So we might have to grab that. So debug is if I do like, wait, where am I? Here. So payload. It's like, this is a dev payload. And so we have this H1 payload. Buffered stream of bytes chunks. Payload stores chunks in a vector. Read any method. Okay, so I want the read any method. And I need to pass it in a context. The rec.cx. No. I don't have a context. What is a context? Read any. It takes a context. Core task context. The context of an asynchronous task. Ooh, I've never touched this. Yeah. So like we keep on going down these rabbit holes. It's 8:49. I have to go to work like 20 minutes ago. So I think what I'm gonna say is that I've like, this is how long we've gotten in, what, an hour and a half or so. And I can't, it doesn't feel like we're that much closer. So like, I'm not saying that I don't like fully like async Actix Web, but it like the documentation as it's right now doesn't lead to like me being able to get like something running with a post request this quickly, or at least I couldn't find it that quickly, which is unfortunate. So I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and call it an end for right now. But tomorrow, let's take a look at Rocket. See if we can get farther along in the same period of time. We'll give it the same amount of time, maybe even a little bit less, depending upon like what my schedule is. And then we'll sort of like go from there. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this in its completely and totally broken state. And we're going to push this up. Yeah, we're gonna try Rocket. It's been something I wanted to check out for a long time anyways. So, Dave, Actix Web, a good old college try. Wasn't pretty. Nor does it work. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and push that up. Awesome. All right, everybody. I have to do an emergency stream shutdown. Sorry for this, but I've got to run. So everybody, thank you so much for hanging out, and I will see you all next time. Bye.